2026 is shaping up to be one of the most stacked years in anime history. We're talking about massive sequels, returning champions, and a whole slate of new giants ready to crash the party. But I believe that the year's biggest battle, the real fight for the soul of the anime community, is going to come down to the new series premiering next year. Now, we're talking about the new shows and properties, not continuations, new seasons, none of that. We already know we're going to watch the new season, much awaited season of Black Clover and Jujutsu Kaisen. So let's get some new blood into the ring and welcome the first three fighters. Three titans are stepping into the ring. A revolutionary slice of life that's breaking all the rules, a long-awaited fantasy epic that redefines what it means to be OP, and a global webtoon phenomenon with millions of fans who are more than ready. Each one has a legitimate shot at the crown, but only one will truly have a chance to dominate 2026. Now today, we're breaking down the first three competitors, analyzing their strengths, their weaknesses, and their path to victory. At the end, I will give my official pick for the undisputed king of these three anime. Let's get to it. First up, we have our contenders for the hearts and minds of the entire anime community. You and I are polar opposites, or Shinhatai na Kimi to Boku. That was my best. Now I know what you're thinking. A high school rom-com, is that really a contender for the biggest anime of the year? My answer is a loud and resounding yes. Because this is not your average cookie cutter will they won't they romance that drags things out for 12 episodes only to end with a weak and unsatisfying confession. Nope, this series takes the entire formula and chucks it out the window. The premise is simple on the surface, but it's revolutionary in how it plays out. We have Miyu Suzuki, an energetic, bubbly girl who's super aware of social circles, social trends, and just wants to fit in. And then there's Yusuke Tani, a quiet, stoic, and brutally honest guy who could not care less for what other people think of him. They are, like the title suggests, polar opposites. But here's the twist. They get together almost right away, literally in the first chapter. The story isn't about the chase, it's about what happens afterwards. It's a grounded, sincere look at what it actually means to be in a relationship with someone who is completely different from you. The series gets into social anxiety, self-acceptance, and the courage it takes to be honest with yourself and your partner. So, what's his case for dominance? It's all about authenticity. In a world flooded with over-the-top tropes, you and I, our polar opposites, is a refreshing, real story. The source manga by Kocha Agasawa has been a huge hit on Shonen Jump Plus, with this anime adaptation being highly anticipated. Fans are starved for this kind of storytelling. This isn't just a rom-com, it's an emotionally mature character study that's both hilarious and incredibly heartwarming. It's reminiscent of Komi-san Can't Communicate or Lovely Complex, for me at least. While stale romance series like Blue Box that seem to dominate, this series walks in making romance fun, real, and reveals that weirdo within all of us. The anime has a confirmed release for January of 2026, which gives it a massive head start on the year. It's being produced by Lapkin Track, the studio behind the visually stylistic and critically praised Undead Murder farce. So we know it's in capable hands. They have a reputation for sharp, emotional storytelling that's a perfect match for the source material. This has all the makings of a word-of-mouth mega hit. The kind of show that starts strong and just keeps building momentum as people realize they're watching something special. It could very well become the Frieren of 2026, a show that breaks out of its genre to become a universal favorite. But every champion has a kink in their armor. Can a quiet, character-driven story really generate the same global hype as a high-octane action series. It banks on emotional depth, not crazy cliffhanger fights. For it to dominate though, it can't just be good. It has to be exceptional, that it captures the entire conversation. That's a tall order. Regardless, this is possible. Much like Komi-san dominating the romance scene with this quirky romance, or Call of the Night in a similar sense. The potential is there, and with the right animation and storytelling, it could be gold. Our second contender is an absolute beast, a pure shot of adrenaline for the isekai and fantasy genres. The exiled, reincarnated Heavy Knight is unrivaled in game knowledge. Let's just call it the Heavy Knight, to save some breath. This series looks like it's going to be a massive juggernaut, and it takes a totally different road to domination. The premise is pure, unfiltered wish fulfillment, and I am so here for it. Our hero, Elma Edvon, is born into a noble family of master swordsmen, but on the day of his divine blessing, he pulls or receives the defective class of Heavy Knight. His father basically considers it useless, disowns him, and exiles him from his home. But here's the kicker, just like in the title, Elma has memories of his past life, where this world was a VR MMORPG and a game that he played obsessively. And he knows the truth. The Heavy Knight isn't the weakest class. It's probably the most broken, overpowered class in the entire game. But you have to make it that way. So armed with years of secret knowledge, Elma sets out to prove everyone wrong and basically conquer the world that he was thrown into. Its case for dominance is built on pure hype. It smashes together the super popular isekai genre with game mechanics, a 2-1 punch that almost always works. The underestimated hero reveals his true power trope is like a drug for anime fans, and the show is promising to deliver it in massive doses. The source material is already a certified hit, with the manga boasting over 3 million copies in circulation as of October 2025. The anime is confirmed for a 2026 release and is being adapted by GoHands, which is either a concerning or fantastic choice. Known for shows that either look good or where the camera angles and colors make the fans sick. I'm overly concerned with this adaptation. My worries come from watching Handshakers, a laughably disastrous adaptation that denotes a lack of competence, over-reliance on certain animation techniques like camera angles and filters, which has already been seen in the trailer, and the inability to bring life to the source material. Despite this, fans are still optimistic. We'll see what happens. My hopes are not that high. On top of that, the isekai genre is incredibly overcrowded. Can the reincarnated Heavy Knight do enough to truly stand out, or will it end up just another fun but forgettable power fantasy? Its challenge is to cut through the noise and become a genre-defining hit. It has potential, but lends to that argument of, can a series be held up by the anime or the animation? I feel that anime, no matter how good or bad it is, can still draw in new readers to the manga. Unfortunately, that may be the only positive of this, but only time will tell, of course. And now for our third and final contender. This one is different. This is the proverbial wild card, the Shadow Titan, the one built different, the one that, if it officially enters the 2026 ring, could make the other two look like opening acts. I'm talking, of course, about Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. For anyone who doesn't know, let me try to explain this amazing series. The story is about Kim Doja, a regular office worker whose only hobby is reading a web novel called 3 Ways to Survive the apocalypse. Over a decade, he was his only reader, following the hero's journey through more than 3,000 chapters. Then one day, the world of the novel becomes real. The apocalypse began, and Doja is the only person on Earth who knows how the story is supposed to go. Armed with this ultimate knowledge, he has to survive this deadly new world, not as the hero, but as a reader, trying to change the fate of a story he knows all too well. Its case for dominance is, frankly, terrifying. Omniscient Reader's viewpoint isn't just a popular manhwa, it's a global cultural event. The source material is beloved for its incredible, complex meta-narrative, its deep themes about stories and characters, and its mind-bendingly epic scale. The art is amazing. We're talking wars between thousands of dragons and battles between cosmic gods. Ideas so huge they feel almost impossible to animate. The fan base isn't just big, it's colossal, passionate, and fiercely loyal, who have been waiting for years for a visual adaptation of this. The announcement came at Anime Expo 2024 from Aniplex and Crunchyroll that anime is in production, and that was met with an explosion of hype from the entire community. This wouldn't just be a popular anime, it would be a true cultural moment. This would also be bolstered by the other manhwa that got the anime treatment, Solo Leveling. Therefore, the bar is set high, and so are our expectations. So, what could possibly stop it? Well, here's the elephant in the room. Its only weakness is that it might not even show up to the fight. While the anime has been confirmed to be in production, as of right now, there's no official release date, no name of the animation studio, let alone a spot in the 2026 lineup. It is the uncrowned king, a hypothetical champion. The entire discussion around it is filled with one big if. If it gets a 2026 release, and if the animation studio can somehow do justice to this epic story, it will basically be Solo Leveling. Now, just to clear it up, this is just the first video. There are other new series that are coming out, like the Darwin Incident, which had Altair reincarnated as a dragon hatchling, and so much more. However, these three are ones that I've definitely personally been looking forward to, and these are the ones that I've read and experienced quite a bit. But that doesn't mean I'm not looking forward to the other series, so there might be other, contender videos in the future if you want. So here we are, 3 titans, 3 different game plans. We have the heartfelt revolution in You and I Are Polar Opposites, the explosive genre perfecting the exiled Heavy Knight, and the global phenomenon in waiting Omniscient Reader. After weighing all the factors, looking at what's confirmed and what has the most realistic path to becoming the year's defining show, my pick for the anime that has the best chance to dominate of these 3, 2026, to do really well, is You and I Are Polar Opposites. I know, it's an upset. Here's why. While the Heavy Knight will absolutely be massive fun and popular because of the fan base, it runs the risk of being another big fish in a very overcrowded sea of isekai. And we also have the animation studio to keep in mind. Either they can do a good job or a terrible job. Handshakers. You and I Are Polar Opposites, however, offer something few other shows do. It's a game changer in a genre that desperately needs one. Its January release gives it the runway to build a huge following and dominate the conversation for the whole year. It has the potential to be a show people don't just watch, but fall in love with, recommend to other people they know, and talk about it for years to come. It's aiming for the heart, and in doing so, it has the best shot at capturing the crown of these 3. Now, let me be clear. If by some wild miracle, Omniscient Reader gets a surprise fall 2026 release, and the animation looks even half as good as it needs to be, all bets are off. That show's raw hype potential is in a completely different league. But based on what we know right now, the smart money move is on you and I are polar opposites. That's just my take. Which of these giants do you think will take the crown of the three? Am I sleeping on the Heavy Knight's animation potential, or are you all in on the polar opposites hype? And what about the wild card, Omniscient Reader? Do you think we're going to get an anime for 2026? Let me know your pick of these three that you think will dominate 2026 in the comments below. And if you want me to do another one of these, picking another 3 upcoming anime and duking it out, let me know. So do us a solid, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, and make sure to not miss our next breakdown video. Until next time, keep reading.